Okay, so let's take a look at the lab portion of the class. All right, so here I'm starting off with the study guide because the study guide is going to list everything that you need to know for the labs in this course. So you're just going to scroll up through this, there's your table of contents and so on. But then it'll get to a point where it starts to list what you need to know, if I could ever get there. So anyway, right, so here it lists the cell model. Okay, so here's a picture of what the cell model looks like. So you're going to need to know all these things it says, right? So be able to identify and provide functions for each of the organelles listed below, right? So you need to identify and then list those organs there, all right, or the functions there. So on the lab exam, there's going to be pictures that are going to look something kind of similar to this, where it's going to be like a picture. There's going to be lines going to the structure that you should know, and then you're going to have to write in, type in below what that structure is, and then you could also possibly have a follow-up question that asks, what's a function of that? Okay, and so this lists everything that you need to know, and there's just another thing that you could use to fill out. Right, and then it goes on to the next thing, which is mitosis. Now, I have lab videos for all of this stuff. So to go over what this stuff is so you can be able to identify it, all right? But this is just showing the lab study guide. There are, it's the same lab study guide that we hand out to all of our 105 students, okay? Now, I do have worksheets that you could use to help you study. They're just pictures of, in this case, the cell, and you would draw lines to each structure. If you want to print these out and so on, those are all there for you, okay, through everything. Now, one of the things that I really strongly suggest is using the pictures that the Success Center has. So this is a link to the Success Center. We're just going to click on that. This takes us to the Success Center page, and then we're going to scroll up. Now we're going to go over here to the 105, and then if we go to Unit 1, okay, now you're just going to open this file. All right, as you can see, here's a picture that's labeled of the cell model, and then the next one is one that is unlabeled, right? And that's the two pictures I have here. So here's the labeled one, here's the unlabeled one. Now, one of the things that I suggest to students is to, when they're trying to learn all this stuff, is to get like a cellophane sleeve, like what I have here, and just slide, so print this page out, slide that picture into that cellophane, and then you can use a dry erase marker to label all of these different structures. And then what's nice about this is now you can come back and you can check to see, did you label everything correctly, okay? And then with it being cellophane, if I'm like, I've done this once already, I can erase that, and then, I can start over again, and match it up again, right? And you just do that over and over until you get it all correct, right? Okay, so let's get rid of that and let's go back to where we were, okay? Now, here are my videos. So let's go to videos for Lab Exam 1. And so once again, just like the lecture videos, I have lab videos for this stuff. So you're just gonna, once again, go to the open link. And here I am. Here I'm gonna pause myself again, but it's a video of me going over all of these things. So you have all the instruction materials for for the entire course, both lecture and lab, on video. Okay, so those are all listed there, and you'll notice there's like 2 of each of these. So this is a new one that I made more recently, and that's an older video, but they're both useful. Okay, so as I said, the lab exams are all fill in the blank. Okay, and I will stress, if you don't learn this material and you try to look stuff up in the book, you're going to time out. You will not have time to do that. Okay. Now, you could just go to my YouTube page, which all you have to do is go to YouTube, type my name in, this page will come in. The best way to navigate this page is to go to the playlists, okay? And here, I teach a variety of courses, so you would just go to one that says 105 on it, okay, if we can ever get there. So here we have Bio 105 lab exams in that playlist. And so here you can go through all these videos, which they list on the side here as well. So that's another way to go through that, okay? So hopefully this helps you with getting this lab portion of the class down.